Meghan Markle's as ever catastrophe is far worse.
Nicki Minaj was on Katie Miller's podcast, and even she thought, maybe Harry should go home. Maybe it's enough of California.
Your take on Harry and Meghan then?
Well, I think he should go home.
They promised Hollywood the stars, pocketed mountains of cash, and gave almost nothing in return. For years, the whispers around town painted a picture of a royal hustle, but now those whispers have exploded into a full-blown Hollywood storm. This isn't just about a canceled project or a quiet deal gone cold. According to shocking new reports flooding Los Angeles, Netflix has finally snapped. The streaming giant has allegedly unleashed a massive $100 million lawsuit against Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, a move that's shaking the industry to its core. The legal filing reportedly paints the couple as Hollywood's biggest alleged frauds, and insiders say Netflix is done playing nice. The accusations are wild. The lawsuit supposedly hits the Sussexes with claims of fraud, huge contract breaches, and a cold-blooded plan to stash $40 million in advance payments, all without lifting a finger to deliver what they promised. It's a ruthless twist that hints their royal charm might have finally run dry in the brutal world of business. And Netflix isn't quietly walking away. They're allegedly swinging hard, aiming straight for the jugular. This is no PR breakup. It's a corporate war that could expose everything behind the royal brand machine. Before we tear into the shocking courtroom drama and those leaked emails that have Hollywood insiders losing their minds, do one thing. If you think Netflix deserves every penny back, hit that like button now. And if you want every explosive update as this case unravels, smash subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single twist. You don't want to miss a single twist in what might be the final collapse of the Sussex brand. Let's rewind to where this royal mess began, and because to truly grasp the scale of Netflix's lawsuit, you've got to see how bold the original deal really was. Back in 2020, Harry and Meghan inked what the media hyped as a jaw-dropping 5-year exclusivity deal with Netflix, worth tens of millions. It was marketed as the start of a global media empire, a royal reinvention for the modern age. They weren't just signing on as creators, they were calling themselves partners. The world was told their royal names alone were the golden ticket to success. They seemed convinced that just being the Duke and Duchess of Sussex was enough to pull in 9-figure deals. But insiders have always whispered that it was all smoke and mirrors, the illusion of power in a game they barely understood. From day one, reports say the couple strutted into Hollywood boardrooms with total confidence, allegedly acting like Netflix needed them more than they needed Netflix. Sources claim they made bold demands, the kind even seasoned Hollywood players wouldn't dare to make. They weren't selling creative ideas, they were selling themselves. They believed their names flashing across the credits would guarantee hits. But while they were busy polishing their image and posing for the cameras, Netflix was expecting something far more concrete: content. The streamer didn't shell out millions for a royal charity campaign. They paid for productions, results, and global hits. And that's exactly where things started to spiral. According to legal experts, this is the moment the fairy tale partnership began to crack, and the dark side of the deal came crawling out. When you dig into this lawsuit, everything circles back to what insiders are calling the fatal miscalculation. Reports claim Harry and Meghan pocketed an eye-popping $40 million in upfront advances, cold, hard cash sitting pretty in their accounts before a single scene was filmed. Now, in Hollywood, an advance like that isn't pocket money. It's a serious vote of confidence. It's the studio saying, "We trust you to deliver something amazing." But insiders allege the Sussexes treated that money more like a gift than a commitment to actually produce. And the latest revelations, they're jaw-dropping. That people close to the production teams are spilling that while the checks cleared, the work calendar stayed completely blank. Sources say there were endless meeting cancellations, constant delays, and even refusals to cooperate with Netflix's assigned showrunners. The promised scripted series, feature films, and children's content all allegedly vanished into thin air. And remember Pearl, the animated series that was suddenly shelved? Insiders claim it wasn't just creative tension, it was a red flag waving high over a much bigger issue. Allegedly, the Sussexes wanted the status of being producers without doing the grind that real producers face every day. But here's where things get wild. How did this go unnoticed for so long? For a while, their hit Netflix documentary acted like the perfect smokescreen. It kept their image glowing, their names trending, and it bought them time. Sure, that docuseries pulled big numbers, but according to insiders, one hit doesn't erase the millions that disappeared before any other project even got off the ground. One hit documentary doesn't justify a $100 million deal, especially when nearly half of that cash was already burned up front. According to reports, Netflix's lawsuit claims the Sussexes used the success of that single project as a smokescreen. A clever distraction to hide the fact that they allegedly had no intention of completing the rest of their contract. It's being said they tried to run down the clock, banking on Netflix being too scared to sue a prince. But that gamble, if these reports are true, it totally backfired. Word in the industry is that Netflix executives eventually caught on and felt played. They realized they weren't dealing with creative partners. They were dealing with people who, as insiders put it, saw the deal as a royal paycheck for just existing, not a contract demanding hard work and results. Behind closed doors, frustration reportedly exploded inside Netflix HQ long before the lawyers even stepped in. The tension built quietly, but once internal documents started surfacing, everything changed. Now comes the real kicker, the hidden cracks. Sources say the discovery phase of this legal war has unearthed internal emails that could blow the lid off the whole thing. Allegedly, one of those messages shows a senior Netflix executive venting, saying the couple wants the money and the credit, but they don't want to do the actual work. If that email ends up being read aloud in court, insiders are calling it a reputation killer. It could shatter the Sussexes' image in one brutal courtroom moment. No PR spin, no royal shield, just raw truth on display for the world to hear. It's the confirmation critics have been shouting about for years, that the sense of entitlement didn't stay locked in the palace walls. It packed its bags and moved straight to Montecito. The alleged dysfunction behind the scenes is next level. We're talking about chaotic pitches that went nowhere, deadlines completely blown off, and a shocking lack of awareness about how Hollywood actually works. Sources say that every time Netflix tried to step in and offer creative direction, they were allegedly met with pure resistance.
Breaking news tonight could lead to Harry and Meghan having to pay Netflix hundreds of millions of dollars in what the streaming giant is calling one of the most serious breaches of contract in entertainment history. This is not just a lawsuit, it's a turning point.
Instead of collaboration, the Sussexes reportedly took any feedback as a personal insult, as if their royal vision was untouchable. But here's the problem. That vision barely produced anything except a few reality-style projects centered around themselves. Meanwhile, behind the velvet curtain, they were still out on red carpets, accepting awards, giving interviews, and acting like they were the new Hollywood elite. All the while, the checks kept clearing, but Netflix's content library, still empty. Insiders claim the whole deal started looking less like a production partnership and more like a multi-million-dollar PR machine for the Sussex name. And here's the truth about Hollywood. Corporations answer to shareholders, not royalty. That patience wasn't endless, and when it finally snapped, Netflix didn't send a polite email or make a quiet call. They hit back hard with a lawsuit that's now rocking the entire entertainment industry. This wasn't just a creative disagreement or a deal that fizzled out. Reports are framing it as something far deeper. A calculated money grab, disguised as a royal partnership. The lawsuit reportedly lays it out plain and simple. Harry and Meghan allegedly knew they couldn't deliver the scripted content they promised, but took the money anyway. That, according to insiders, is straight up fraud. There's a big difference between failing at a project and never planning to do it in the first place, and that's the line this case is said to cross. It's what turns a contract dispute into a $100 million courtroom nightmare, and the timing couldn't be worse. Hollywood right now is in full contraction mode. Studios are slashing budgets, axing projects, and cutting off anything that looks like a loss. In that kind of climate, a massive deal with zero return isn't just a bad look, it's a corporate scandal. By allegedly pocketing the cash and walking away, the Sussexes didn't just burn a bridge, insiders say they nuked the whole island. But here's where things take a shocking twist. For months, the frustration inside Netflix's executive offices was boiling quietly, until something specific happened that pushed everything over the edge. There was a trigger, a single event that flipped their anger into legal action. That breaking point? January 21st, 2025. While tabloids were busy chasing celebrity drama, a team of Netflix's top lawyers marched straight into the Los Angeles Superior Court and dropped what industry insiders are calling a legal nuclear bomb. On that day, Netflix officially filed a devastating lawsuit, demanding every cent of their money back plus additional damages. That moment changed everything. It marked the end of patience, the end of Hollywood's royal experiment, and the beginning of what could become one of the most explosive legal showdowns the entertainment world has ever seen. This wasn't a quiet press release, this was war. Insiders say the lawsuit blindsided everyone, not because of the dispute itself, but because of how ferocious Netflix's move was. Normally, the streaming giant keeps things hush-hush. They settle quietly, cancel quietly, and move on. But not this time. This time, they allegedly decided to make a public example out of Harry and Meghan. The filing reportedly lays out a timeline of total collapse that's almost unbelievable. It claims Netflix spent more than 2 years trying to keep the partnership alive, offering resources, expert producers, even restructuring options to help the Sussexes deliver something substantial. But every single time the company reached out, insiders say they were met with silence, excuses, or endless delays. By early 2025, Netflix had allegedly seen enough. The lawsuit claims it was painfully clear the Sussexes had no intention of completing the remaining projects on their slate. They had taken the money and mentally checked out. But what came after the filing is where things took a desperate turn. Reports from inside the Sussex camp paint a picture of panic, a frantic scramble to spin the story before the narrative completely collapsed. Insiders are calling it a desperate cover-up, saying that instead of trying to negotiate or apologize, their legal team allegedly went on the defensive. Hard. Rumor has it Netflix even tried to offer a last-minute restructuring deal before the suit went public, but the Sussex side flat-out rejected it, and their reasoning? Absolutely wild. They allegedly argued that by delivering the Harry and Meghan docuseries and Heart of Invictus, they had already fulfilled their main contractual duties. That claim, if true, left Hollywood stunned. Because according to industry insiders, that excuse might just be the boldest legal gamble of their entire career. Let that sink in for a second. They allegedly argued that because they delivered one hit show, they deserved to keep the entire payment meant for a full lineup of projects. According to insiders, that claim infuriated Netflix executives. It was seen as the height of arrogance, like they were trying to rewrite the contract after the fact, acting as if the millions budgeted for scripted shows and kids programming were just a bonus for being famous. Sources say their lawyers even tried to twist the argument further, allegedly claiming that the brand value Harry and Meghan brought to the platform was worth more than the actual productions they never delivered. But Netflix wasn't having it. Not for a second. That bold pushback reportedly snapped something inside the company. In response, Netflix allegedly made a game-changing move. They unsealed the entire complaint for the world to see. And when those court documents hit the public eye, it was explosive. We're not talking about vague claims or gossip. This was cold, hard math. The filing reportedly lays out line by line that the Sussexes only delivered about $25 million worth of usable content, even though they'd already pocketed $40 million in advances. Do the math. That's a $15 million hole that someone has to explain, and Netflix's legal team is demanding exactly that. A full accounting of where the missing millions went. The lawsuit allegedly suggests that instead of being spent on scripts, production crews, or development costs, the funds were redirected into their luxury lifestyle. Things like high-end travel, elite security, and the upkeep of their Montecito mansion. The picture painted by the complaint is brutal. A royal couple allegedly living large off-studio money that was meant to build a media empire. To Netflix, it wasn't just bad business, it was a betrayal dressed up as stardom. Their financial defense is falling apart, completely. The newly exposed documents reportedly show that entire production teams were hired and ready to work, but sat around doing nothing for months because Harry and Meghan allegedly couldn't make a decision or simply refused to approve scripts. And just when you think it can't get worse, it does. The complaint supposedly reveals that they abandoned multiple commitments altogether. Remember those upbeat rom-coms and wholesome family films they teased to the press? Gone. Totally vanished. According to the filing, these weren't just projects stuck in development, they were never even started. No scripts, no casting, no directors, just promises that never turned into anything real. Netflix's lawyers reportedly accused the couple of selling a dream, a full production powerhouse, and instead delivering nothing more than a glorified reality show about themselves. The exposure of this alleged deception shatters the public image they've worked so hard to build. It's tough to play the victim when a billion-dollar company drops receipts showing you cash checks for work that never existed. And those receipts? Insiders claim Netflix has everything. Detailed logs of missed Zoom calls, unanswered emails, and blown deadlines that came and went without a single update. Every excuse, every delay, every moment of silence, documented. Now the hammer is officially coming down. Netflix isn't just chasing the missing $15 million. They've reportedly gone all in with multiple legal claims, breach of contract, unjust enrichment, and even intentional misrepresentation. These aren't light accusations. They're the kind of charges that can crush reputations and end careers. Hollywood insiders are calling it one of the most brutal corporate takedowns the industry's ever seen. And the fallout has only just begun. Intentional misrepresentation. That's the fancy legal phrase for lying. Netflix's lawsuit reportedly accuses Harry and Meghan of signing their multi-million-dollar deal in bad faith, knowing they couldn't or wouldn't deliver what they promised. And the stakes, absolutely massive. The company is said to be demanding a jaw-dropping $100 million in total damages. Now, you might be wondering, if the missing money was only around $15 million, how did it balloon to a full 100? Here's where it gets downright terrifying for the Sussexes. Netflix's legal team is allegedly stacking up lost opportunity costs, arguing that by tying up their time, money, and resources with the couple's stalled projects, the streamer missed out on other deals that could have earned millions. They're also reportedly calculating reputational damage, the cost of being linked to high-profile flops and public embarrassment. Essentially, Netflix is saying, you didn't just waste our money, you hurt our brand, and now you're going to pay for it.
I think this is the moment that she has finally realized everything's gone wrong, and she can't spin it. From what I'm told, Meghan Markle has been going through multiple stages of grief over the Netflix deal. It started with denial. It moved to desperation to change the situation with Ted Sarandos. Then it was anger, and we know what she gets like when she's mad.
Legal experts following the case are calling this a scorched earth strategy. Netflix isn't just after reimbursement, they're sending a brutal warning to every Hollywood name out there: don't test us. Even if the company never sees the full $100 million, the message is loud and clear. And for Harry and Meghan, even a judgment for half that amount could be devastating. Insiders say their Montecito lifestyle runs on steady cash flow, big deals, sponsorships, and media appearances. If the court forces them to repay tens of millions, their carefully built image and finances could crumble overnight. This isn't just a lawsuit anymore, it's shaping up to be a financial earthquake that could flatten their entire empire. The lawsuit may be the legal battlefield, but the real destruction is unfolding in the court of public opinion and in the sleek boardrooms of Hollywood's most powerful studios. As news of Netflix's legal assault spreads like wildfire, the industry is reacting in ways no one could have predicted. The buzz is chilling, and the verdict from top entertainment lawyers, even colder. Legal experts are reportedly saying Netflix's case is airtight, built on a paper trail that stretches back years. Every email, every contract draft, every ignored reminder, all logged and ready to roll. But this courtroom drama is just the spark. The real explosion came when the story hit the headlines, because the fallout didn't stop at Netflix's door. It's now spilling into their other partnerships, brand deals, and social circles, triggering a public collapse so brutal that their royal exit looks calm in comparison. And here's the moment everything shifted: the point of no return. While the Sussex PR machine scrambles to frame the lawsuit as a misunderstanding, Hollywood's heavy-hitting lawyers are saying something completely different. They're confirming that Netflix's case is rock solid, not built on gossip, but on a fortress of evidence so detailed it could destroy any defense. We're not talking about vague promises or misunderstood meetings. We're talking about a digital mountain of documentation. Industry insiders whisper that Netflix has logged every missed deadline, every canceled call, every instance where effort was minimal or non-existent. And in breach of contract cases like this, documentation is everything. Reports suggest Netflix has gigabytes of data, timestamps, messages, internal memos, all proving one brutal point, that Harry and Meghan simply didn't do the work. Hollywood isn't just watching anymore. It's taking notes. Because once a studio proves a royal brand can fall this hard, no one in the industry will ever hand out blank checks again. Legal analysts digging through the leaked complaint have zeroed in on one brutal detail that could seal the Sussexes' fate: the delivery acceptance clause. In Hollywood contracts, it's not enough to just hand something in. You only get paid when the studio officially accepts the work as professional quality. And according to the lawsuit, the little material Harry and Meghan did turn in was allegedly labeled substandard and unusable. That's the legal equivalent of turning in a blank page and expecting an A. It wipes out their entire defense that they tried. The law doesn't pay for effort, it pays for results. And with Netflix exposing this clause, the couple's last bit of professional credibility is reportedly crumbling right before our eyes. This revelation leads straight into the public collapse that's now unfolding in real time. The lawsuit isn't just about recovering money. It's acting like a giant flashing warning sign for the rest of Hollywood. Don't touch this brand. Industry insiders say the couple's reputation is being torched beyond repair. Word around town is that major studios and production houses are quietly ghosting them. Calls aren't being returned, meetings are being postponed, and the once hyped Sussex media brand has turned into what insiders are calling a toxic liability. And here's the cold truth of Hollywood. You can survive a scandal, but you can't survive being labeled bad for business. There doesn't need to be an official blacklist memo. It's a silent freeze out. No one wants to risk it. Agents are reportedly struggling to land them new deals because no executive wants to be the one explaining to their board why they lost millions on the Sussex experiment. In an industry built on reputation and trust, this lawsuit didn't just hurt their image, it might have ended their Hollywood run altogether. Reality is finally hitting hard. The Sussexes may have no choice but to sell off assets, downsize their empire, or worst of all for their pride, publicly settle and admit defeat. This lawsuit is forcing them to face a truth they've long avoided. They're not victims of a cruel system. They're victims of their own ambition. They walked away from the royal family in search of financial freedom, but now it looks like they might have engineered their own financial collapse. The irony is painful. They traded royal duty for Hollywood fame, only to discover that celebrity comes with its own kind of duty, the duty to deliver. And having failed to meet that demand, they're left clinging to titles that mean less and less in a world that runs on results, not crowns. If this case actually makes it to trial, it'll play out like the final season of their real-life drama. But this time, they won't be directing the edit or controlling the story. The evidence will be laid bare for everyone to see. The testimony will be under oath, and the verdict will be carved in legal stone. It's the ultimate reality check for two people who built a brand on fantasy. And now, that fantasy is unraveling in front of the entire world. Their next move could decide everything. Will they dig in and risk total ruin, or swallow their pride and quietly settle to bury the truth? So here's the big question. What do you think will happen next? Will Netflix win the full $100 million and make them pay every dime back? Or will Harry and Meghan pull off a secret settlement to keep their financial secrets buried? Drop your take in the comments right now. Type "pay Netflix" if you think they scammed the streamer and deserve to pay it all back, or type "settlement" if you believe they'll find a quiet way out. And don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single update on this royal courtroom showdown.